Well, everyone else made a video on this game, so I guess it's my turn. Sonic Triple Trouble, one of the few Game Gear games I still like to come back to. Of course, I played it via game compilation. But what if it was released on the Sega Mega Drive instead? Well, that's where Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit comes in. A reimagining with new level layout, new zones, and of course, playable Knuckles. I'm really excited to check this game out, so let's do it! The story starts right after the events in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, with Angel Island restored thanks to the Master Emerald. The giant Eggman robot returns. We fight him, then he beats up Super Sonic, steals the last emerald while the other emeralds mysteriously disappear, and now it's up to us to find Chaos Emeralds again. We start the game and you have your standard moves like Spin Dash and Peel Out. Drop Dash from Mania returns, which is always great to see. You can also switch to Tails, which is perfect for finding the big goal rings. It's also how you enter special stages where you race against Snag. And to be fair, I like these special stages way more than in the original. It's not that they're bad, I actually like them, it's that I like how it's done here more. Kinda like the UFO chases in Mania. One thing I really appreciate is when you fail the stage, you get the chance to try again. It costs life, which is fair. Sure, some of you could argue that it takes away from the challenge, and that you can just find another giant ring, but I'm glad the option is there. Like in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, each time you hit a checkpoint with at least 40 rings, you can enter a bonus game, and yes, that means gambling in a Sonic game returns. There's also this canon one, but I never really got far. Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk about the levels. Act 1 is 2 acts merged into one, while Act 2 or sometimes Act 3 is a reimagined level with new gimmick. And just like Sonic 3, each Act 1 ends with a mini-boss. In Turquoise Hill, it's Snag. And remember how I said that Act 2 levels are reimagined? Well, the same goes for bosses, like this third turtle actually transforming into bigger boss. Shout out to the Sonic Retro website, that way my review can be more lore accurate. Another thing I appreciate is the game having level transition cutscenes after beating each major boss. It's a small detail, but you'll be surprised how some games forget even the simplest task. We enter Sunset Park, but while the zone itself is good, I want to focus more on Act 3, which has my favorite track in the entire game, and hearing remixed version of it is just pure bliss. Although my only complaint is that it sounds a bit quiet. But also, this is one of the best train levels I played in a Sonic game. It even ends with a section where you have to run from lava. This caught me off guard, but in a good way. By the way, the train's name is Morph. I'll be honest, I never really was into Metal Jungle era. It's not the worst, but it's also not my favorite. Which makes it more surprising by how much I enjoyed it in the 16-bit version. Act 2 is interesting in that it combines Sendopolis with Marble Garden. It's so weird how these remakes or remasters make levels that I don't normally like and turn them into something that's fun. Now we just need a good version of Metropolis Zone. After Wood, Bot and Rundorf, which I lost my life to, how embarrassing, we jump on Rocket, which leads us to a brand new level. Exactly. It's a Flying Fortress level, kinda like Wing Fortress or Flying Battery Zone. There's a section where you fly with rocket shoes, but unlike Sky Chase, it doesn't overstate its welcome and is pretty short. After destroying Robotnik's boiler room, it's time to escape the fortress, which leads us to Robotnik Winter. Confusingly enough, it's also called Robotnik Winter in the Japanese release, or according to Google, Robotnik Winter Zone. It's a pretty good zone, and thanks to the 16-bit remake, I might actually prefer this over Ice Cat, especially with its second act, but more on that later. We have to fight Knuckles first. For those who played the original or remake, know why we're fighting him. Don't worry, Knuckles didn't got tricked again.
Like you weren't.
Here's the second act I was talking about. I wasn't expecting a snowboarding section, but I gotta say, it's great. It's this fake 3D that will actually be possible on the original Sega Mega Drive or Genesis. Games like Mickey Mania or The Lion King immediately come to my mind. Unrelated, but Act 2 music sounds like something from Kirby. Another boss, and this time it's against Giga Thomas Penn. Seriously, what's with these names? Anyway, this one was easy peasy, and we move on to the water one. Actually, it's not bad. Strange considering other water levels on Game Gear. We do not talk about Blue Marine Zone. We fight Knack again and follow it with submarine level. Wait, that's the same submarine from Tails Adventure. Unexpected cameo, but a welcome one. Knuckles shows up again, but something strange happens when we defeat him. It turns out it was Metal Sonic the whole time. And that's not all. We chase after him and of course fight him. It does have an awesome Stardust Speedway remix. And it's not the only one in the game, it gets even better later on. Final zone. Let's find the last emerald and defeat Metal Sonic once and for all. At the end we can find Knack shooting Metal Sonic. Though what business does he have with him? And it's not like he's finally on our side. Seconds ago he destroyed one of the tunnels. Whatever, it's time to fight Metal Sonic, and this is what I was talking about. Another banger remix. It combines Metal Sonic's theme from Sonic Fighters and Stardust Speedway both versions. This is easily my favorite track in the whole game. It's that good. I spoke too soon. Atomic Destroyer Act 2 track is amazing. I could go on about the music in the game, but we have a friend in need. This act is more like a set of challenge rooms. You got one with buzzsaws, laser beams and crushers. Hey, even the anti-gravity from the Dead Egg returns. After completing each challenge, you unlock a new room. Wow, 3D. I really like this boss. It starts with this elevator where you need to avoid spikes and robots shooting lasers. The boss itself is fairly easy, but the destroyed platforms make it more challenging. I guess getting knocked out and doing the wall section again might be annoying, but I never died so I don't really care. It does make dying to a snake type more embarrassing. The final showdown is against Eggman with 3 faces. I guess I could call this boss rush, but also the point of boss rush is to fight all the previous bosses, so this doesn't really qualify for it. We get the last emerald, save Knuckles, roll credits. I have a feeling that I forgot something. Wait, the emeralds! So after getting the 2 emeralds and almost messing up in the last special stage, we can now enter the final boss against Metal Sonic. Even has multiple faces. But when you figure out how to avoid his attacks or hit him, it becomes easy. Still, it's a great finale to this game. He even transforms into this huge robot. But it's not Metal Sonic kind, that one is terrifying. Boss is done, roll credits, except it's not all, because Knuckles is the only other character to have a story. I'm not going to drag it for too long. However, you do start in the Angel Island zone. Which makes sense, the story takes place after the Angel Island got restored and Knuckles is a guardian of the Master Emerald, used to be enemy. The story here is more of a brick, it explains why the other emeralds disappeared. Metal Sonic shows up, you then fight Metal, and just like Sonic Heroes, he can copy characters' abilities, even to the point of disguising himself. And Knuckles apparently has the ability to transfer the remaining emeralds into special stages, I guess. You run through the same levels as Sonic and Tails, even fight the same bosses, yes, even the Faker. It's funny seeing Knuckles and Knuckles fight each other. Before we enter the next zone, I have to mention this weird moment that happened to me while recording. After defeating a boss in Act 2 in Robotnik Winter Zone, I forgot to destroy the Anon capsule without knowing it. I just glided and then got onto the elevator that leads to the title plant. However, that confused the game and then this happened. I did not edit this. This is how it skips the transition. This isn't a complaint. I just find it to be a fun bug caused by me. Speaking of title plant, it does have its own boss for Knuckles. This worm thing. I don't know its name. Atomic Destroyer is the same as the version with Sonic, except instead of Robotnik being the boss fight in Act 3, it's Knack, and after you defeat him, you get captured by Robotnik. It's that easy, huh? Credits roll, and it shows we unlock Metal Sonic in free play. Well, we already unlocked Naga before, so let's check out their abilities. Fang can do triple jump and shoot corks, and Metal Sonic can float and... he can reach the speed of sound. One last thing we can check out is the competition mode. It also has a story mode. Robotnik is giving away prizes, I guess, and you have to get there before your rival does. Hey, you even fight him at the end. And that was Triple Trouble 16-bit. Is it as good of a remake as everyone said it is? Well, yes. In fact, it might be the best remake I have ever played. And it's fan-made. This just shows how dedicated this fan base is, and that makes me happy. It's even going to be shown on Sage 2022. Nice. Download for the game is going to be in the description. I highly recommend you all to try this game for yourself. It's really great. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.